We're gonna cut this off.
Or you can put that in the interview. Like, they can know.
Welcome you and all to another episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast, where we talk about Latino everything. And today we have a very special individual, amazing. We have an amazing, talented Latina recipient of Premios Tejano Mundial 2023 for Best Artist. She's Colombian, Puerto Rican, and Korean. She has over 247K followers on TikTok, thousands of subscribers on her YouTube channel. Also, one of her favorite quotes, "Shoot for the moon," has pushed her to not to shy away from her greatness. We have Gaby, Gabriella, aka Gabriella Martinez in the house. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How about yourself?
Pushing through.
I appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Of course, yes. Thank you for having me.
Yes, this is a awesome episode. I'm glad that I get to talk to you before you're able to not be reachable in the near future. But for the meantime, I really truly appreciate it. Again, thank you. I know that you're a little bit under the weather, but you're pushing through. But it means a lot for you to be here. And I hope I cover everything correctly on your introduction.
Yes. No, that was a great introduction. I was just expecting you to say my name, so thank you. You make me sound important.
You are very important. You're a very special individual. You're here. You're doing your thing, and I think it's amazing to highlight that part. So you're definitely are important, not only to me, but I'm pretty sure for a lot of people. Your parents and your family will agree.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with a segment that I like to call Preguntas al Chile. Preguntas al Chile. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and do so. If you're already here watching, take the time and see the beautiful graphics Carlos put together. And you can see lovely lady, Gabriella. You ready? Kind of a little bit of rapid fire, but you let me know which one you like better. Tacos or quesadillas?
Quesadillas.
Corn tortilla or flour tortilla?
Oh. It depends on the meat.
Depends on the meat. Okay. Gorditas or arepas?
Oh, I'm Colombian. Arepas.
Arepas, okay. Fanta or jarrito?
Jarritos.
Okay, what flavor de jarrito?
Lime. Nobody, and you know what's crazy? No one ever had the lime flavor when I want it. No one. Like, I would be like, what? No one has it. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I buy it at Walmart. Like, when I want it, I just go to Walmart and I get my lime jarritos because I'm like, that's my favorite flavor. It's the best one.
They are delicious. They are delicious. Okay, agua de horchata, Jamaica o tamarindo?
What was the first one?
Agua de horchata, Jamaica o tamarindo?
I've never had either.
Not either? Tamarindo, horchata?
Never had one.
Never? That's cool. We need to, next time you're in the market square, get you one of the agua frescas and let me know which one you like. And
agua fresca. I've had agua frescas before.
But which flavor? They got horchata, they got Jamaica, or they have tamarindo?
I literally had lemonade.
Lemonade? Yeah. There's nothing wrong with lemonade. Lemonade is very refreshing.
Sorry.
No.
That's the only one I've ever... because, you know, in Florida, like, there's a lot more, like, Cubans, Dominicans, Colombians.
Yeah.
There's Mexicanos también, but, like, you don't see as much as you see here. You know what I mean? Like, everywhere you turn in San Antonio, there's, like, a taqueria, there's agua frescas, like, fruterias, like, there's stuff everywhere. But in Florida, like, you really got to look for stuff like that. But here, I could, like, literally pull up to the top of us across the street from where I live. So
yeah, I see a trend that you like limon type of stuff.
Yeah, I love lime and like even the lime slushies at Sonic. Like, I like anything lime.
That's awesome. Okay, seguimos. Do you like bandeja paisa or lechona? That's stuffed pig.
Bandeja paisa.
Ah. Bistec encebollado or tripleta? Bistec encebollado or tripleta? Those are Puerto Rican dishes.
I know, I'm struggling. Bistec. I love bistec. Like, carne is always going to be my top.
Okay, let's see if I get the pronunciation right on the next one. Kimchi or bibimbap.
Oh, dang. So, okay, those are so both because kimchi you put with the bibimbap.
Ah, okay.
So it's kimchi is like kimchi is like the equivalent to like what the sriracha, like your sriracha. You know what I mean? Or like your salsa. Like that is the garment that goes on. Like I eat kimchi. I'm not even kidding. Like I have so much kimchi in my fridge. I eat kimchi and rice all the time. And I see what you're doing. The Colombian, Puerto Rican, and Korean dishes. I see that.
You caught me.
Yes, you gotta have them both. Like kimchi goes with any Korean dish. Like I don't care what it is. Even with my like noodles. Like if I'm eating anything, I'm gonna put kimchi on it. So
I put kimchi on my Mexican food, to be honest, because I have kimchi too. Yeah.
kimchi tacos. Kimchi tacos.
It goes great. It's a great condiment to put on it. It's definitely awesome. Okay, so I know you're not too much into the spicy. However, if you had a choice, salsa verde, salsa roja.
Okay, so here's the thing. Salsa verde for us, Colombians, it's not as spicy.
Nope.
A funny story, LOL. When I lived in the valley, they said, "Do you want salsa verde?" And I was like, "Of course, I love this one. It's so good, you know. Like I've had it before." I put the whole thing on my taco because I thought it was, you know.
Yeah.
I kid you not, I took one bite and my face got so red. There was snot coming down my nose.
Ouch.
I was crying. And I'm like, do you have milk? Do you have milk? Like, she was like, you weren't supposed to put the full thing on it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I've never had this before. And she's like, oh, girl, like, so they got me my first agua fresca. It was the lemonade one. She got me a lemonade really quick. She was like running to me. She was like, here, and just drink this. And yeah, I learned my lesson very quick that salsa verde is a lot hotter.
It is.
Spicier.
It's a whole lot hotter, but we don't throw the whole thing in there. We throw just a little bit just to give it a little kick.
I didn't know that. So y'all, my sister was there. She was laughing at me so hard.
I love spicy.
I literally looked like somebody just punched me in the throat. And I was just like
every dish that I have that has to have some kind of spice. I'm addicted to that picante. I really am. Like I have an issue with eating a lot of that.
Hey, whatever floats your boat. I mean, I like buffalo sauce and everything. So I mean.
Awesome. All right, continuamos. Have you already had a chance to have some menudo or pozole? Which one do you like?
For which one?
Menudo or pozole?
I haven't had either.
You haven't had either? Okay, I'm sure being in San Antonio, they're gonna get you up on board. For right now, we're good.
They will.
What about churros or flan? Do you know which one of those? Churros or flan?
None. Have to. Flan.
Okay.
Always.
And the pastry breads, they call conchitas. Do you like the brown ones, the pink ones, or the white ones? Have you had a chance to try them out?
I haven't yet. No.
All right.
I gotta go to like an authentic Mexican restaurant and just be like, give me everything.
Absolutely.
Give me everything. Like I've never had a concha before either. I've never had one yet. So
yeah, definitely. Again, being in San Antonio, I'm pretty sure you'll make your way. I'm pretty sure they have panaderias that you'll be able to enjoy a fresh one.
Everything.
Yes, very.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you had a dream place that you would love to hike, what place would that be?
To hike?
Yeah, to hike, because I know you enjoy hiking.
I do. Dream place I'd love to... Oh, a volcano in Hawaii.
You know what? When I was thinking of this question, I'm like, I almost guarantee she's gonna say this too.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go up a mountain in Hawaii and just climb it and see the water down below. I want to go over an active volcano too. Like I've always wanted to see that. So
I don't know about that.
My Hawaii.
I don't know about the active volcano. I wasn't thinking about that, but yeah, definitely. I bet it's a sight to see. It's definitely would be.
See the bubbles like in there, yeah.
Oh no, I'm good. I'll pass. I'll let you do that. I hope you stay safe, but I'll watch you from afar. Okay.
I got you.
A conspiracy theory that you could almost guarantee it has to be true. What would that be?
Government killed Marilyn Monroe.
I could see that. I've seen different documentaries, and I can almost see that too. Yep.
Like I'm so firm about it. Literally, like people, because I love Marilyn Monroe.
Yes.
For that reason. So many people gave her so much crap.
Yeah.
The things she did. Yes, the sleeping to get to the top, but at the end of the day, I'm not excusing that.
Of course.
But at the end of the day, you have to understand there were women all around her that were doing the same thing because it's what they were taught. So if you were taught one thing and you're told this is the only way you're going to get to that,
Yep.
that's what they're taught. The morals were a lot different back then. Things were a lot different back then. Also, they thought she was in on a lot of conspiracies, and she had that whole affair with JFK, and then Robert. It was just too much. So I was like, they got her.
You don't think she had an affair? I think she had an affair with one.
Oh,
Yeah.
she definitely did.
Yeah.
They have tapes of it. They have tapes of like them like talking, like because they wired the house that the Kennedy brothers would come to have parties. They wired it, and Marilyn always like she has. Hi, Marilyn Monroe. She has like the same voice, like so.
I really enjoyed her voice. The way that she sang "Happy Birthday," I think, to him. I think it's one of the most iconic pieces of footage that they ever captured because I thought it was super dope.
Oh yeah, no, she's so dope, and like that's the thing. Like she's still. I think at the end of the day, she knew the icon that she was becoming. Obviously, she knew how big she was going to become when she died, but she owned every room she walked into regardless. Like she could have screwed Bill, Bob, Joe in the room, but she still like, she was going to get what she wanted at the end of the day. And I think a lot of people just kind of look past that and they think she's like this Lucy and she just, there's so much, I researched her for years. So that's why I'm like so like pro Marilyn, because once you really see the stuff she went through and how she was treated and the contract she was assigned, like it's just, I feel bad for her. At the end of the day, I feel bad for her.
I do feel that way too because a lot of people do like. I know you like her, but some people idolize her, not to realize that her life was kind of sad,
Yeah.
And then the way that they ended up taking her out, I'm pretty sure that,
I did.
Okay, so when you hear the word Latina, Latino, or Latinx, what first pops to mind?
First thing that comes to mind with Latina, specifically for me with Latina is strong. All of the Latin women that I've grown up around, they've all been strong. They've all gone through things that they didn't necessarily need to go through or have, that they've just struggled so much, but at the end of the day, they always came out on top, like my mom, for example, she's Colombian fully. And when we were growing up, we didn't have money like that, but we never knew we didn't have money like that because she did such a good job at keeping shit together. The best way to say,
Yeah.
But the more you grow up, the more you realize how some things aren't normal, and how money really wasn't there, but she did everything she could to make sure it was. You know what I mean? Like we went to Disney World all the time. It was a lot cheaper back then. Back then it was a lot cheaper. Went to Disney all the time, Universal all the time. We didn't know. Like you don't know when you're a kid. You just think I'm having the time of my life. We didn't know that, me getting clothes passed down to me, like it was because we couldn't afford new ones. It was just, I want to wear my sister's clothes. You know what I mean? So the word Latina is definitely strong. Latinos in general is just culture. Like the culture, what we give back to our community. Like we are Latinos. Like we are here. We all come from a different place. Like I'm in a predominantly, like San Antonio, there's a lot of Mexicanos here. Where I'm from, I grew up with a lot of Dominicans, Cubans, and Colombians. But at the end of the day, we're all Latinos. Like we are all the same people. We have different styles and different ways that we do our culture, but the culture is still there. And we hold it down. I'm gonna be honest, the Latinos, we hold it down. So I'm honestly proud, like, to be Latin. Obviously I do have that Asian in me as well. So I have I'm not completely 100% Latin, but I love that there's just no shame when it comes to being who we are. Like that goes for anybody. That could be like when you see like the Mexican flags everywhere, the Peruvian flags, Salvadorian flag. Like people are so proud to be who they are. And I guess that's what I would say, proud, like for Latinos, like they're proud. They want to show off their culture. They want to say, hey, I'm Colombian, I'm Puerto Rican. So I have a lot of respect for our people in that aspect. They don't really hold back. They don't hold back. And they're loud about it. And I love it. Like, be loud, you want to be loud. You want to be in people's space. Like, be proud of who you are.
Absolutely. And do you care if they call you Latina? I know one of your TikTok you had said you were a his Asian baby.
Yes, I don't care when people call me Latina because I'm Latina. Like I can't take that away. Like I'm 75% Latina. I say Hispanian baby because there's a lot of people that are Hispanic and Asian.
Yeah.
So I'm hitting, and it's super cool because I get messages about it too. I'm hitting another market. Like I'm hitting the no sabo kids. I'm hitting the people that actually do speak Spanish. I'm hitting the Hispanian babies. Like I'm everywhere, and that's why I'm very authentic about who I am, and I don't ever want to pretend to be something I'm not.
Gotcha.
I'm not afraid to say, yeah, like I'm Colombian, but I'm singing in a genre that's Mexican. You know, at the end of the day, like it's predominantly Mexicans, but music has no boundaries. It shouldn't have boundaries because the second you start putting up boundaries, like you put up a wall, you stop. You can't progress. You can't evolve. So, hey, I've been honest about it from the start. I'm a no sabo kid. I'm Colombian, I'm Puerto Rican, and Korean. Take it for what it is or just don't listen, you know?
Absolutely. Love that very much. Okay, so let's start the interview. And thank you very much for those lovely answers. I appreciate it very much. And I can tell from all every interview that you have on YouTube, pretty much I saw as in entirety, and I didn't get any different vibes than who you're showing right now. Like this is who I am. Like, let's just
Right.
take it, or there's 8 billion people in the world. There's gonna be a few that don't like you, but there's gonna be a whole lot more that do appreciate who you are and to be able to embrace what you're doing. And we'll get into that about the music here in just a little bit. So you did mention your mom was Colombian. Do you know Buena Vista, Colombia? Do you know her journey here by any chance? Did she ever share how she got to the United States?
Yeah, so my mom was born in Buenaventura, but she lived in Cali, which is one of the bigger cities. She has two brothers and a sister, Soraya and Camilo and Tato. She came to Miami actually first. So she was in Miami, Florida. Then she came to Tampa, which is where she met my father. My parents, they were teen parents. They did everything young. They got married young. They had kids young. They had 3 kids by 20. I was the third.
Nice.
So he came over, and I mean, obviously at first you couldn't really speak English. Like you're just going from Colombia to America, but she said she watched Barney and stuff. So I think her English wasn't horrible when she was in America, but like she obviously learned more but she got here when she was about 11, I believe, 11 or 12. And she just started doing her thing. She doesn't really like McDonald's. Because I was gonna say she Americanized herself, but she didn't really have a choice. Her family wanted to come to America. They wanted to make a name for themselves. They wanted the American dream. That's how it always is. So I think being a teen mom for her made things even more confusing.
Gotcha.
It made it even harder, to really achieve that dream. But she's done a great job, I think, with raising 3 kids. And we actually took in my 2 cousins as well. So there was 5 kids in the house.
5 kids in the house. And not to mention all y'all, to my understanding, I know your sister, but definitely you went to school too. You got your bachelor's in psychology.
Yes, I got my bachelor's in psychology, Gobles, at the University of South Florida. And I got that when I was 20 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me go back a little bit before we start getting that, because I have a question about that too. But your dad is Puerto Rican and Korean.
Yes.
Did he tell you about his upbringing by any chance?
Yes. So that man's been everywhere. My dad was born in Korea, Seoul, Korea. He came over and he went to Georgia for while he was a kid. He was in Georgia, and then he went to live with his father in California for a bit. And then he came back to Florida, where my grandma was at the time. He didn't live with his father for long, but he came over, and then he started high school. My mom was already at the high school, so my dad was like the new kid on the block. And she wanted him. And she had a crush. It's so funny because they have jokes. Like, my dad's always like, your mom paid me to go out with her. Like, she paid me to date her.
Really?
Like, all this. But no, they that's pretty much it. Like they hopped around. My dad, when he was a teenager, he grew up primarily in California though. So at the time, he was around like a bunch of like Chicanos and like, you know, like hey, like they were like, he said they loved Selena, obviously, like
Yep.
Selena all the time. He had Frankie J all the time. He heard like, you know, like just people, Latin music, Mexican music, you know, and he wasn't used to that because my dad's not, he doesn't speak Spanish. He doesn't speak a single lick of Spanish. So he's like, kind of just like the odd one out. But he eventually came over to Tampa, and again, that's where my parents met, and then boom, the rest is history. So
That's awesome. And he's not, was a military, wasn't a military brat, was he any? Like his dad was military at all?
I think yeah, but I don't think when he was like growing up, he was still military. Like that's how my dad's father met my grandma, was because he was military and he went over to Korea. So,
Got you.
but and it too long once they came to America.
That's awesome. So you always been an overachiever, from my understanding, homecoming queen, class president. Where does that come from? Where does that drive come to be striving not to shy away from your greatness? Because Latinos, sometimes they'll be stay humble, this and that, but a lot of times you can remain humble, but at the same time, don't shy away from going for greatness instead of staying mediocre, right? So where does that come from for you?
I've always said, shoot for the moon. Even if you fall, you'll land amongst the stars.
Yep.
I love that quote. Go for the highest thing. Don't go for vice president. Don't go for secretary. Go for president. Because when you show people, I'm not here to play. Like, I'm going for the top thing. I'm going to show you I have what it takes. And I'm going to do my thing. I didn't want to just make homecoming court. I wanted to be the queen. Like, I think you always have to just shoot higher than what you're aiming for. Because say I ran for vice president, I didn't even get it. Like, it's just, you gotta just want what more than what you think you can achieve. You have to always tell yourself that, like, I deserve this. Like, have that mentality, I deserve this. I'm gonna get president because I deserve it. I'm gonna be queen because I deserve it. Like, it sounds silly, you know, it sounds like, why does she have the audacity to think that? But it's a mindset. Your mind is the thing that's going to stop you from reaching to the top. It's you. It's not anyone else. People can say whatever they want to say. It's whether or not you listen that makes a difference. But like, for me, it's a mindset thing. Like, I deserve this. I'm going to make a hit song.
But where does that mentality come from? Where did you start thinking in that manner? Was it at home? Was it something that you seen when you were growing up that made you want to think like that? Because a lot of times, some Hispanic, some Latinos don't have that. They have the limitation of some kind of limited belief that they couldn't push forward and be that. You know, they're happy with being just in the court. But you were not that way. Your mental was different. Where do you think it comes from?
Honestly, my parents and my sister, I would say for sure. My sister is like the biggest overachiever. Like, that girl, like, she got 2 degrees by 19.
She's an attorney, right?
Yeah, she got a law degree by 22. Like, hello. Let me back up. But then at the same time, like, my parents, my mom especially, like, go for it. Like, if what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, go for it. Dude, she wanted me to experience everything in life. She wanted me, my dad too, you know, my parents combined, like, it's so sad to say, but they missed out on a lot of their childhood because they were parents. You know what I mean? So if they couldn't have it, you're going to have it. You know what I mean? So they really, really pushed for, just go for it. Just go. Don't care about what anyone has to say. Just go for it. Show them what you're made of. And it's so funny because my personality, I'm just, like, I'm at 100, like, all the time. But no one in my family is like that. So I have no idea where it came from. Like, my personality, like, my dad says it all the time. I don't know how you get up on stage and you actually sit there and talk to people. And because he's like, so I'm going to stay in the corner. I'll cheer you on. But that's it. And my mom's the same way. She doesn't go on stage or anything like that. Like, she's very to herself. So I really, in terms of like the motivation and where I got that from, my parents and my sister, but everything else, I don't know where it came from. I could not tell you. I have no clue.
Okay, so I know you have mentioned before in one of your interviews that you were dealing with lupus. You're a lupus warrior. Even you have the tattoo, the butterfly tattoo. Can you explain to people what is it exactly and what are the challenges that you have to face sometimes whenever you have like an episode that you have to deal with that people might not even see that you are because of all the things you do, because you're always on the move, you always this, then they might not realize that you have that, but you still, it doesn't matter. It doesn't stop you from doing whatever it is that you're doing.
Right. Okay, so I have systemic lupus. There's two types. Mine is systemic, which is lupus is autoimmune disease. We just got to put that out there. So you can't see it. You're right. My body basically attacks itself, which sucks. But like it affects your tissues, your blood cells, your organs. Like it's just think of everything that regulates your body and everything that's going on inside of your body. Lupus attacks it. And thank God I'm in remission right now. You know, I've been taking care of my health. I've been taking my medicine. I look over it. But you still have crappy days. You know, like a week ago, I slept like almost the entire day because I couldn't move my joints. Like, it's like if you wake up, your arm is just stuck here. And you're trying to bend it, and it's like this.
Oh, wow.
Like you, or my fingers, like they'll get stuck, and I'm trying to move them. You're very fatigued all the time. You got to find bursts of energy. Like you have to, that's where the eating good and taking care of yourself comes from. You're fatigued. I lost a lot of my hair in the beginning, which sucked. That was very sad for me. You just feel like half of you some days. I don't know how else to describe that. Like, it's like if somebody took half of everything you could do, every capability you had, just cut it in half and boom, like it's gone. So it's not the easiest thing to deal with. It's not my friend, but I'm managing, and I'm just praying that it stays in remission and we can just keep going the way we've been going. So
awesome. And to my understanding, there's not a particular cure, but there is treatment and there is the diet that you have to maintain to make sure that you know. But how do you push through, especially when you have like a performance that you have to go through and then you're feeling kind of like that? Where do you get the burst? Because that has to be a lot of willpower to do that.
Willpower number one. I have to talk myself and, you know, like, it's an hour. You're going to be okay. You could rest afterwards. You're going to eat after. You're going to be okay. Drink water. I take my medicine. I drink, I'm not even kidding, like so much water, like as much water as possible. And I drink a tea usually, just get everything calm and going. And I just go. I don't rely on energy drinks. I've never had any type of energy drink in my entire life. Like, and I'm going to keep it that way. I don't want to rely on anything. It's more mentality. And I start like, I'll listen to music. I'll get myself pumped up, like Rocky Balboa, like,
yeah.
Air, like, you really gotta just tell yourself, all right, you got it. This is your time. You got it. Like, just go. You have an hour. It's like a pep talk, you know?
Yeah, your mental, for me, like, is amazing as far as the things that you can accomplish once you set your mind. And even if something that's out of your hand, you still push through it with your mental. At being at 21 too, just pushing through that's to me is like crazy amazing to me. It's like, wow, it really is. So I just wanted to touch on that. I know it's kind of personal, but at the same time, somebody could look at you, they're maybe going through that inspired to be an artist, to be like, you know what, you can push through it. You just have to really want it. You have to really want it.
Exactly. It's mindset.
Awesome. Okay, so you have a psychology degree. What, at 19 years old, you said, right?
20, I officially got it.
20. Tell me 3 things that you find out about the mind that are very shocking to you that you didn't know before.
Well, this is so random, but I could bite my finger off myself. The reason why we don't, it's like a carrot.
Yeah.
I bite into a carrot. I could bite it off, but your mind is gonna stop you because it, like, regardless, like, cannot turn that switch off. Like, you could do it to other people too, but your mind is going to tell you, no, what are you doing? That's your finger. It's going to hurt. So it won't. It just won't allow you. That's the first one. I know it's really weird, but two, with children specifically, the nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
When a child is brought up, the first 2 years, 2 to 3 years are the most critical, like the most critical. And I personally thought it was like 5 to 8 or something around there when the kids can,
Yeah. Out of their personality.
Yes, but those first 2 to 3 years, they're gonna get the different. This is why it's so important for parents to be attentive. Like, is there a nurture there? Like, how they're gonna cling to the mom naturally. Naturally, they're clinging to their mom. And I thought that was just an animal. A lot of animal instincts, they like cling to their mom, and like the monkeys. There was an experiment with monkeys, and it was the baby. There was a real monkey, there was a fake monkey, and the baby kept going to the fake monkey because it had like fur, and it had like the nipple, and compared to like not a real monkey, it was like a stuffed monkey. So like there was more nurture in that because it had more realistic parts of a real monkey. So that was cool to learn that like those years are so vital because they're really going to look to a baby is going to look to cling on to the mother figure like that. Like literally the second they get out, they're already looking for a nipple. Oh, which sounds weird, but like I'm so serious. Like that's a thing. Like
it's survival for them. It's instinct and survival.
It's instinct. It's like they just know.
Yeah.
You just came out of the womb for 9 months, but you just know. And then lastly, psychotic breaks are definitely real. And it's not necessarily that I didn't know this, but it's just, people are like, oh, they're just bipolar. Not many people are diagnosed with bipolar disorder. That is thrown out too much. Like, she's bipolar. They're not bipolar. They're just, psychotic breaks. Quite literally, like, well, people are like, the woman found her husband cheating and she just killed him. She had a break. She had a psychotic break. It's so sad to say, but even with like the school shootings and stuff, they'll try to use that. I'm not for any of that. Like, I don't get into politics. I just sing, but trust me, if you want to talk about that off camera, I will get so into it. But psychotic breaks are a thing. I don't like when people try to use them for harsh crimes, because I still think at the end of the day, people deserve to get, they need to have justice served. So, but that is a thing. And it was a hard topic to talk about because I had a class where we all got serial killers.
Yeah.
And we had to study the serial killer the entire semester. Like I had Jeffrey Dahmer.
You gave him the death penalty.
I did. Sorry for people that don't believe in it, but I had Jeffrey Dahmer, and he tried to plead insanity. Like I didn't know what I was doing. It was insane. You did it 17 times. Like, you know what you were doing. I'm sorry. Like, no. So I did give him that. Other people were as harsh. And personally for me, I just believe that there needs to be more examples made. So it breaks my heart to see how cruel the world is becoming and how easy some crimes are just being let off. And it's like, it's just not fair, like I wish there was more. I wish it was a bit harsher on the people that are committing these crimes, but
so
that's politics.
On his case, whenever you were studying him, everything that you saw that he was actually manipulating and using the judicial system to try to get away and plead something that he could possibly win, and realize this dude is not crazy. You're making all this up and exploiting the fact that our judicial system is weird to try to get away of the things that. Now, do you think there has to be something sick with him still, right?
With Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yeah.
He was definitely sick. I'm not denying that. I mean, like that, he had a lot of issues. Like when I say I had to research him, like we had to research, like we had to get back into the family history, to the dad's dad. Like it was a lot because we were judged that we only had 1 grade that semester, and it was that like a project. So we had to learn. He was definitely sick. I had to look at the photos.
Oh wow.
You can opt out of that part, but I was like it's encouraged. So you look at the stuff that was done, it was so inhumane that, you know, he was sick. He was sick. Like that's just a whole other level of evil that there's a lot going on there. But I still don't think he should get a slap on the wrist for that, just for saying he's sick.
Because I think if they did that, he would not be able to stop and will continue to do that eventually.
Right.
I feel like, to me, I never seen the series or whatever, but I know that if he was exploiting that, then after being let go with a slap on the wrist, most likely he would end up doing the same thing over and over again.
Right. So that's why I'm like, you know, and that was part of my argument. Like, we need to start making more of an example because it's too easy. Too many things are accessible. Too many things are being let off. Oh, they're like life in prison, but parole in 20 years. Okay. No, like, I'm sorry, but I could go on that could be our whole interview. Like, I would go on into.
No, we're gonna move on, but I appreciate you sharing. I want to make sure I touch up on the things that you're done, which I think is amazing, that you're not only you're doing and following your dream and taking a lot of chances, but you have a degree, but still are willing to move forward with the music, which I think is amazing as well. Okay, so
Right.
that's why I wanted to touch up on a few things like that.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah. No, I'm so passionate about so many things that are like, I'm gonna get into some fights with people because.
Say
Yeah.
that. Okay, so I know you said that you've been singing since you can remember, since you were a little bitty, right? However, what are your earliest memory that you can recall that said, "Oh, this is for me. I love this. I love this. This is what I'm gonna be doing." As far as singing, do you remember?
Actually, yes. And it's so
Uh-huh.
crazy. No one's ever really asked me that specific question before. I was in elementary school. I had a music teacher, and it was Miss Chapman. I had Miss Witchman and Miss Chapman. Miss Chapman introduced me to soul music. Motown. I was like, the hell is Motown, you know? It was Ray Charles, Hit the Road Jack. And I remember talking to my dad about it, you know, like I learned this new song and I love it. It's by this guy, Ray Charles. And then we ended up watching the movie Ray Charles with Jamie Foxx. And I would go to her class all the time. There was this thing called Host, where it was like an after school program. And she would like be there. She'd be there in the summer program. And she always played Hit the Road Jack. And like, that's the Hit the Road Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. That song. And I would just sing with her. She showed me Etta James. She showed me like, everybody. And I was like, where have I been? Like, I'm 7 years old. I'm like, where has this been my whole 7 years? You know, but then is when I really, really started to like, I like music. I like, this is cool. And then my mom, she listened to a lot of like Spanish music, like Ana Gabriel, Gloria Estefan, Selena, La India, like bands from Colombia, salsa bands, Mark Anthony, Hector Lavoe. So,
Rocío Durcan, your favorite.
huh?
Rocío Durcan, your favorite. One of your favorites.
Yeah. Just music in general or just Latin?
No, Rocío Durcan, the singer. That's one of your favorites, right?
Oh my God, Rocio Ducal. You know why she's one of my favorites too? Is because she had so much emotion in everything she sang. Like, I mean, like she could sing A B C D, and she'd be like A B C. Like she would like make me feel the ABCs, and I think that was such a hard thing. Same with Ana Gabriel. Like people could sing. You know, people could sing. Can you feel it? Like, what are you telling me? Are we, what's the story? What's happening? Can you feel it? You know? And when Rocío Dúrcal, like, my favorite song there is La Gata Bajo la Lluvia. Because, like, oh my God, like, I don't even have to be in a heartbreak, but I, like, tell myself I'm heartbroken because she sings it so good.
Yeah.
And I just admire her for that. I think that's one of the hardest things to do. Like, I don't see things unless I feel them. I gotta feel it. Even if I'm not heartbroken and I'm singing a song about heartbreak, I will go back to a time when I was heartbroken just so I could feel it. You know what I mean?
And that's a special talent to be able to, like you said, everybody sings, but to be able to sing and to be able to hear and go through your ear and actually even feel it to where your hair stand up, to where you feel it in your being of the sadness of the projection of those words coming through. And that's a special skill.
Agreed.
Yeah, definitely. So would your dad really sing country? Did he really sing country? Did you hear him, or were you playing around? Was that a joke?
Oh my God. He hates when I say this.
Really?
Okay, so my dad is not like, he hates attention. He hates like every time I bring up, oh yeah, my dad sings country. He's like, no, I don't. Like, stop telling me. He's like, stop telling people that. We grew up on country music because of him, because he would listen to like a lot of rap too, and like I grew up on a lot of R&B and country because of my dad. So like we'd be singing Luke Bryan in the car. That's why I tell everyone my dad's a country singer.
Oh, I got you.
He
That's
will
funny.
sing.
I thought you might have like inspired a little bit. But I thought it was a running joke, an inside joke. I'm like, is it a joke or not?
It's a joke. It's a joke. I'm sorry, guys.
That's hilarious. I thought it was hilarious too, though. Like, let me see if it's true or not. Okay. So you took some time to go to Spain. I think your cousin lives over there, right? For about a month or so?
Yes, you know everything. Yes.
Do I know everything?
My cousin Catherine, she lives in Almeria. It's like a smaller town. And it's right by the beach. So you have the mountains and the beach. It's gorgeous. I mean, like, I don't even like, they just walk outside. They're like, oh, we're on the beach. How beautiful, you know? But like, we're like, it's gorgeous. Like the most clear water you've ever seen. Just amazing food, amazing people, super kind. Like, just, I love my time in Spain.
What area was it again? I'm sorry? What area was it?
Oh, year? I was 19. So it was 2021.
No, what area was it? I'm sorry. What was the town name again?
Almeria.
Almeria. I've been to Barcelona before.
I didn't go to Barcelona. I went to Madrid, Rock of Gibraltar, Malaga, and Almeria in Andalusia.
So you took a whole month over there after you finished schooling to take a little break and get vacation and get acquainted with your cousin again. Is that true?
I never met her, so yes, that was the first. Yeah, it was super cool. I wanted to learn Spanish. My mom's Colombian. She speaks fluent Spanish, but will not talk to me in Spanish. Don't know why. So I blame her. But I wanted to learn it. I was like, why not? I was educada in Spain too. So it was cool. But I wanted to learn. The thing is, though, their Spanish is so different than what is spoken here.
Oh, yes.
So I got to Texas, and it was like Tex-Mex to the max. Like, you know, like, I didn't even know what a Sancho was. I was like, what is that?
You know what a Sancho is now?
But like, yeah, now I know it's a side piece. I was like, Sancho, and then like another thing that like stuck out to me was the words aren't the same sometimes. So like, I wanted a carrot cake one time, and I went to like this little, it was like a panaderia, and I asked for a torta. A torta is a cake for me. That's it.
I know that you are definitely enjoying this episode. Help us out. Subscribe today. Hit the notification button and leave us a comment. Thank you very much. Back to the podcast.
She literally brought me a sandwich with carrots on it because I wanted a carrot cake.
I'm sorry. That's
like,
freaking hilarious.
She like handed it to me. She was like, "Eso?" And I was like, "No." I was like, no. I was like trying to like think. I was like, quería una torta como un postre. She was like, pastel. And I was like, pastel. Okay, all right. So we're using different words. Gotcha. Cool. That's the only thing though. Like you just gotta get accustomed. You know, like Colombians will say like instead of Monday, they'll say disculpe or like ¿qué dices? Like something like that. But people here say Monday, so it's not like ¿qué? You know, like just right in your face. So
to us, ¿qué? Is like it's not disrespectful, but it's rude sounding to Mexicanos.
Yeah, like ¿qué? Yeah, they're like who? They're
like,
ready.
When we're growing up, a ¿qué? From you, if you say ¿qué? To your grandma or somebody elder, you could probably like get slapped across the face. That's how bad they look at it.
Yeah, like Colombians, that's why they say like disculpe or like ¿qué dices? Like what were you saying? But ¿qué dices? More like friendlier. Like if you're like ¿qué dices? Like what were you saying? It's like your cousin or something. But like disculpe has more, you know, it's a lot.
Gotcha. I got you. Okay, so you in 2020 you were in the pandemic, right? So you started kind of sort of wanting to get in TikTok, but not really. You finally decided to go ahead and do a video. You uploaded on TikTok. 20K followers later, you kind of sort of decided to get more serious on music. Is that how the kind of it went, or not really?
Kind of. So I didn't take TikTok seriously at first because I didn't know what it was. So like for the first 2 months of even having TikTok, I didn't post anything because I'm like, what is this? Like it's another platform. It's gonna fail, whatever. I would post stupid videos here and there. I think I had about like 20 videos posted, and then they were just silly. They were stupid. And then one day, I'm messing around in my kitchen with my mom. I'm like, I want to film a TikTok, Mom. And she's like, girl, hush. Like, go. Well, like, what do you do? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So she got me this microphone. And I was in my kitchen with her. I'm sitting there, literally, like, no makeup. My hair's just down, t-shirt, shorts. And I sang Como la Flor. Whatever. Not thinking anything of it. I just sing it. And then I'm like, ah, like at the end laughing. I go to bed. I wake up. I have over 20,000 followers. The video blew up. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what happened? You know, like, how did what? So I show my mom. She's like, oh, that's cool. And then I go through the comments. And everybody, like, was just, like, hyping me up. And I was like, okay. So then I still did, like, maybe one video, like, once every 1 or 2 weeks. Like I wasn't on it. And then you know, when I started making more, I would say when I turned 20, so like a year. It's been a year. I've been more consistent, and then I started getting brand deals, and I started, you know, getting people to reach out to me, and it turned into this thing. And I was like, okay, if it's working, I'm gonna just keep going. And now here we are a year later. So I think it worked.
Oh, it worked. So your first situation, like, it worked because you had you were, if I'm not mistaken, you moved to the Valley at one time because you were with a different label, Mod Records, for a little while. You even had some music that was charting, having a #1 song in Houston, Tejano hit for a little while, right? Is that whenever you were with Mod Records?
I'm so sorry?
You were with Mod Records at that time whenever your songs were charting, whenever you released your first project? Was that your first project, right?
No, Nadie was my single. That was the one that was charting. Yes.
Correct. And that was with Mod Records, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. That's dope. So you, even before, so if I'm not mistaken, you were also found through TikTok by Goto's mom, saw you and told him about it. Is that how it went or not? I'm telling you, I watched every interview and I was like with a little loop just scoping like, oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, so I didn't know that till later. First of all, I didn't know who Gotos was at first. I was like, Gotos? Like, you know, like I was thinking to myself, what is that? He DM'd me one day. I was like, hey, like, I was just wondering if you wanted to hop on a call. You know, I wanted to talk to you, see if we could make a song or something. I go on his page, just rappers. But I'm like, does he think I'm a rapper? Like, there's a way he could think I'm a rapper, right? Like, I don't rap. Like, I can't rap for shit. So, like, I hope not. No, he wanted to make a song, and I was scared of contracts. I was weary about contracts, and so I was like, okay, let me talk to my parents about it. Like, even though I am 20 at the time, I still rely on like everything, you know, because they're my backbone. They know a lot more of this world than I do. They're more than twice my age. So I just wanted to be sure. So I get on the Zoom call and he's just telling me everything. We meet up at the studio down in Corpus with El Dusty. I picked him because I was like, this man's legit. Like, he's gonna get shit done. We made I Amor, which is one of it was my first single with Gold Toes. And from then on, like, I met his wife, Michelle, who I adore. His mom, I haven't met in person, but I met her over the phone. She's like, I did that, by the way, you know, like, that was me. I found you. So it was cool. And I didn't know this, honestly, till recently, that people in California were talking about me and Gold Toes making this deal before I even knew about it. So
wow.
It kind of just came together at the right, like, the perfect time. I can't even just say it, like the perfect time. He came at, yes.
So you had an agreement to do just one song, but then after that song, you decided to make you're one of the artists, right? For GT.
Yeah. So he does distribution all across the board. He has like, I don't even know how many artists. Like he has a lot of artists for distribution. I'm the only artist signed to his label. So
You're the only artist signed to his label.
yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. That's amazing. Wow. And here you are, TikTok. The thing that you didn't like is kind of assisted a little bit because you already had the talent. You just needed people to look at it. So.
Oh, thank you. No, I appreciate
So I know you, like Tejano, I know you have sent us some interviews that you were kind of embraced by that culture and they kind of saw it, and was that how the decision to go with the song Hay Amor, that's a little bit Tejano cumbia? Is that how it went, or what was the decision to go with Tejano right now?
So for me, I keep saying this. First of all, Tejano, I have so much respect for. Like the genre, I have so much love and respect for the genre itself, the people I was able to meet along the way. I never expected to be accepted into it because one, I'm not Mexican and I'm not from Texas. Right. So I have nothing to show, but they did accept me, and I appreciate it because it feels so good to be included into something like that. When I make music just that I love. I don't put any title on it. Because the second you start to box yourself, you're never going to get out. So I say Latin. I sing Latin music, but I'm at the end of the day, like I will sing Tejano to the bone. Like if you want to get down and dirty with some Tejano, I'll yate all day long. So like I will do Tejano, but at the same time, I don't think a lot of people at this point, like they don't want to box it. So I don't necessarily box it, but with Tejano, it'll always be my first. It'll always be the first thing that, that accepted me, that took me in, that started to help me get that name. And I love it for that. I love the people for that. I just, again, so much respect for the industry and the genre. Like Shelly Lattes, I have to give a huge shout out to because she took me under her wing and she came in at a time when I needed her the most. And she is a Tejano legend. But at the end of the day, I'm going to keep creating. It doesn't matter what genre it falls under. I just want to make music that people can feel, that they can really, really just dive into.
Yeah, I think maybe if you get some criticism, it might be from the older folks that grew up and saw it. But to them, what would you tell them to know that Tejano, when you do Tejano, a song in Tejano is in good hands? What would you tell them?
You're asking really great questions today. What I would tell the older generation. First of all, thank you. Thank you for supporting it when it was beginning. Whether you're at the beginning, the middle, it's not the end of Tejano. So wherever you came at with Tejano music, whether you were the musician, you were the singer, you're the producer, the promoter, the fan, thank you because you started that blueprint. You started the blueprint to allow people like me, other artists, to take that and just evolve and grow with it. Take it to a place it's never been before. So instead of, yes, I've had people that have gotten mad at me or upset, she's not even that, somebody literally told one of the promoters that I was working with that I shake too much on stage and I'm risque. So, at the end of the day, like, I would have nothing negative to say to them. I would just thank them. And if, they don't decide not to listen to what the newer generation puts out or what the new Tejano puts out, that's okay. Like, they still helped pave the way and they still help with that blueprint. So
I would think it's in good hands if you continue to do songs in Tejano. I know you want to focus on just doing Latin music in general, whatever sound it might be, but I think whenever a song's put in your hands that is Tejano based, I think that it's a good hands for you to give it the life, give it the feeling, and give a good song out for people to enjoy. That's just my take.
Right. And the last song I did, it's going to fall under so many categories. Like, it's technically a mariachi bolero, right? But then it's going to turn into a Latin pop ballad. But then it can be this, it can be that. You see what I mean? There's so many different doors it can go through. Just let it fall wherever it decides to fall. At the end of the day, I think we just all should just work on creating music we love. And whoever decides to listen to it, cool, awesome, heck yeah. Like, that's what we want at the end of the day. I don't want anyone to feel like there's pressure to make something one thing, because that's how music doesn't evolve. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta give everything space to breathe. And I think everyone's doing a great job with that. So
yes. One other question about that part, as far as so whenever you were thinking about doing, like, you were thinking of finding a song to do, there was a particular sound that you had talked about that you were looking for. What exactly was the type of sound that you were kind of sort of looking for, that El Dusty was able to you were able to see that maybe he will be the one to create the sound that you were looking for? What was that sound?
I wanted a Jennifer Peña Cumbia Kings type vibe for the first song. Which is where I Avoid has like that very much, how do I say this? Like, not an acoustic sound. It's very electronic. But it's nostalgic at the same time. The last song that I just made, that's not even, hasn't been previewed or anything. It's a lot more acoustic cumbia. It's a lot more, I guess, regional Mexican. But at the same time, it's vallenato music as well. Like, vallenato music is Colombian based.
Cumbia is from Colombia.
Yeah, and it's there's accordion in it. There's that sound that the congas are in it. Like, I'm just pulling from everywhere. Like, it's still my roots, but I also want to go with, that sound, that acoustic, that raw sound. I love the sound that I want to give, but I want to hit everybody. Like, I want to just put stuff out that can just make everybody happy. And if it doesn't, it's fine. But I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily to think about. Like, I'm not making music specifically for people. It's not like, okay, I have to make a powerful mariachi with 10 different instruments and like I have to, no, because so-and-so wants it. No, I'm going to make music that I like at the end of the day. Like, it's always going to, if I don't like something, I'm not going to put it out. Like, I just can't. It's not like me. I got to put stuff that's good out, or else it'll eat at me nonstop.
I like that even though there is a demand of certain people want you to go a certain direction, your heart tells you that you need to put the things that you enjoy, that that people are gonna gravitate. Not to mention, there's a lot of thought. I'm talking about the feeling nostalgic about what used to be and bringing it into a new life in 2023. That's pretty cool that that process goes through your mind to think about those things before you even put a song out.
Yeah, and I really want to focus more on. I love I Am What. It always would be my first love. I don't know how many more songs I'll make in that style. Right now, I'm focusing more on like corridos, more cumbias, but like instead of the boop, 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 it's more like a sway. Because what I noticed, there's nothing wrong with this, men. I love you. However, a lot of the songs that I'm seeing, or like when I turn on the radio, or like that are on playlist, a lot of them are men. There's a field right now, and specifically corridos. Again, nothing wrong with this, men. I love you. But what women do you see in corridos right now?
Now, Karol G had a 200 tiros, I think, that did. But other females, there's not a lot. You're right. There's not.
Scared. And the thing is, I love corridos. Like, I love the guitar. Like, like, go crazy. Like, let's go into it. But they tell a story, right?
Yeah.
These songs are by men. They're telling the story of a man. I want you to feel what a woman feels. Because I'm not gonna be like, I'm a man, I'm drinking a beer after work with my besties. Like,
Can't relate. You can't relate to those
I
songs.
can't relate. It sounds great, but I want to relate. Like, that's why this local V I just did as well. Like Grupo Frontera, they're taking over with that style, which is cool. That's great. You know, honestly, props to them. Like, I'm so glad they're doing what they're doing because they just started out and they made it big. So good for them. Like, I love seeing that. I love seeing people just believe in their dream and just go for it. But again, that's another like Karin Leon. Like, those are the names you hear. I want more women. Like, and I'm gonna take. I think I'm gonna take it on. I think I'm gonna just put myself in that category and be like, hey,
I need more. I need more conviction on that part that you're gonna take over because you haven't been the one to doubt yourself on it. You know, I'm just saying.
And you know what? I feel like it's just gonna take. I know Becky G just did something with Peso Pluma, called Chanel. It's a corrido, but again, it's like it's attached to a mayor. Like, I'm just like, come on, women, like, we got this. Like, I want to take it on. I want to just take a risk. Why not? You never know. You never know what can happen. I want to take that risk. I want to be, yeah, I'm Colombian. I'm walking in here, but I'm going to do it strong. My head will be held up high. I'm going to be confident about everything I do. And from there, we'll just see.
Your voice is so strong. Not to mention you can hit the lower notes if you needed to, and versatile at the same time. That I think whatever you wanted to dive in, that you are able to do that and come out with a great product, a great song that women can relate, and not to mention that you want to deliver that thing that they can feel and be like, yeah, I know where she's coming from because I've been there too. So yeah, I can see it. I can definitely see it.
Yeah.
All right. So as far as Ay Amor, is there any talks about maybe doing a remix or another with one of your Tejano peers by any chance, or you're gonna let it marinate a little longer and then you're gonna come out with Amores Como Tu with mariachi, which is getting ready to come out soon, right?
Yes, that one, it might get pushed back a little bit. Amores Como Tu might get pushed back, but for good reason. So I don't want anyone to think I'm leaving them on the back burner. We're in the works with some cool people. Some big people that I never thought I'd even have the chance to get to know.
Nothing you can share with us today? Is that something that you cannot?
Not yet. You almost got me. I was like, no, but I'm just, everything is lining up in God's favor. And I need to just keep my head up, stay humble, and just, I'm excited. Like, when this takes off, like, I'm telling you, it's going to take off. Like, I think right now is the waiting period. And I'm being tested in so many different ways, so many different ways. But this is the waiting period. This is the time where I'm religious, where God is like, watch what's about to happen. Take the time for what it is now because watch what's about to happen. So.
You know, I had the same thought that you were saying because I know you had mentioned at one time you were a server, and then you said, how come I can't blow up immediately and things like that. And then appreciate the times where you're doing this and it's slow, that you're not really moving full force because you know it's coming. And I was thinking about the same thing as far as the way that my life goes. I'm like, I gotta appreciate the thing that I'm able to go to the grocery store, that I'm able to go to a restaurant with my parents, because maybe here in a few months or whatever, I might not be able to anymore because, you know, things are gonna start developing.
And that's a huge one, the parent thing, you know. The thing you just said, you know, about, you know, thanking God for little things. Like, I could still go out to eat with my parents. Like, I had a very close friend of mine. He lost his mom last year, very abruptly. And, you know, it sounds so stupid. I know it sounds dumb, but the things I take for granted, like waking up and my mom's there, or being able to call my mom, or being able to sit at a restaurant with my mom. Like, it's so minuscule in the moment, but there are people that are dying just to have one more time like that. And so it puts a lot of things into perspective. You know, he was 21 at the time. I'm 21 now. I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't even imagine. So I tell everyone, love harder than you ever had. You know, do everything times 2 is what I always say. You know, love harder, cook harder, forgive more. Because I think the main thing that he was really going through was like he kind of had a bit of, you know, issues with his mom, and when she passed, he was never able to resolve them. And he couldn't forgive because there was a, you know what I mean? So I definitely, I keep that in perspective now.
I like your empathy. Not only that, the empathy part, but the maturity, emotional maturity that you have at 21, realizing that this is the time now to appreciate those things, and this is the time now to not hold on to anything that doesn't serve you, such as grudge for anybody, and let it go.
Right. And I think it just goes for so much, because when you hold hatred in your heart and when you want bad things for other people, like that's going to come back to you. I'm a firm believer in that. Like, just if someone's not of service to you anymore, let it be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm very like family girl. I'm very, what's it called? I'm very tight knit with my family, very close. So we can argue whatever. We're going to have arguments like, oh, my sister, you're ugly, leave me alone, like whatever. That's just how it is. But at the end of the day, I love you. I'm going to tell you I love you, because I don't know when I'm going to be able to say it again. Vice versa. So
I like that. So no remixes of Ay Amor with your peers in the near future at all?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
That'd be pretty cool to merge. I mean, just an idea to merge some of the up and coming ones with a beautiful song that you have. I heard, I saw, I share this often because I don't know if it's true or not. The guy might have been lying, right? But the reggaetonero, supposedly what he was saying is they used to do remixes with each other for years, back and forth. Like Daddy Yankee would do a song, he'll tell so-and-so, hey, jump on the remix. And then they just keep doing that for years to eventually they run everything as far as Latino, reggaeton music. So I don't know, I just thought it was a good thought for the Tejano, the emerging Tejanos, the newcomers. I had Shelly Lares, I had Christy Lux, this also a newer Tejano.
Yes, Christy Lux.
I just interviewed her a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I released her episode recently. So
I saw that. Yeah.
Thank you.
No, but I what's it called? I agree with you. Like, just doing collabs. I haven't had anyone necessarily reach out that was a female yet, but I would love to do something with, you know, who I could. Like, doesn't matter male or female, but just to be out there and like, you know, this is us. Like, some new generation.
That's awesome. Yeah. I love that. And so you're going to be here. So we're in the DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth area. You're going to be coming here soon. When are you coming?
May 5th, May 6th, and May 28th for the Carne Asada Festival.
And you got the Unforgiven with Renaissance on May 5th.
May 5th. For a while, yeah.
That's awesome. Is this your first time coming to the Dallas-Fort Worth area?
Yes, first time. Yeah. I've never been.
Not even passing by?
Airport. I went to your airport like one time.
That don't count. So how do you how you feel about performing here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area?
I don't know what to expect, to be honest. I'm excited. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm excited, but I heard like it's such a mix of people. So I'm like, what do I see? I'm like, what do you do? But I'm excited because at the end of the day, I want to hit different spots.
Yeah.
I want to go everywhere. I want to be like all over the place, you know?
Touring, for what I heard. You want to do some touring here shortly. Touring, yeah. Like touring around?
Yeah. Heck yeah. I mean, whoever wants to have me, I'm there. I'll go anywhere. Like, I don't care. As long as, you know, the pay is reasonable too, because that's one thing that we do run into is like, could you bring a whole band and you Gabriella for $200 in Dallas? And it's like,
come on, people, we got to get the business right. There's a lot of equipment.
Like, it's hard because it's like, I feel like people don't understand how much goes into the travel in itself.
Yeah.
Like, the backline, like the backline is like the drums and everything. if there's a backline and that's what you're paying and you expect an hour set, like that's a bit hard. Like you should, I just think, you know, and I've done free events. Like I still do free, like I'm about to do a gig where I'm coming out of pocket, you know, and it sucks, but because it's like, if it was San Antonio, it's one thing, but like I got to pay for travel. But at the end of the day, I'm still starting out. I'm still making a name for myself. I got to take things for what they are, you know.
Well, you got the greatest attitude to know that you're going to be making it far. And like, again, one of these days.
You got to have it.
Yeah, and one of these days, these promoters should offer a little bit more so y'all can continue doing business later on in the future instead of offering $200 and expecting you be able to later on when you're blow it big, because I don't doubt it. I'll be like, well, you didn't take care of me then. What do you want me to do?
No, I think what it is, it sometimes comes off a little disrespectful when they give that amount for a band. Plus 4 hours, 5 hours of travel. Like, at the end of the day, like, we still deserve to get, you know, even if we don't make anything out of it because you take care of a hotel room or like something. So we're not like, but again, like I've done many free gigs, and when you're starting out, you got to just bite the bullet at times. You got to just know that, hey, the picture, it's bigger than this. You're going to make it, but these are the steps you got to take to make it. So that's the mentality that I have.
Yeah, that's cool too, but an hour of entertainment to entertain your people, it's quite a bit of a time to be able to sing and the band and everything. $200 is a little bit disrespectful, to be honest, you know?
At the end of the day, it's, you know, I'm so sorry. I'm going to pause this interview really quick. There's a spider that's been crawling. I'm terrified of spiders.
Okay.
I've asked my mom to kill it for the past 5 minutes. I'm going to just rate it really quick. I do apologize. I'm
You're
like,
good. Take care of it. We're going to cut this off.
You can put that in the interview. Like, they can know. I'm terrified of spiders.
Okay, go take care of that spider. Hope we roll back. Okay, so Gabriella is taking care of a spider. So she's going to be in the Dallas area Sunday, May 20th, the Carne Asada Fest 2023, Southside Ballroom, and also in Fort Worth, Unforgiven Live Friday, May 5th at the Halton Theater. So if you don't know where to get your tickets, make sure you check the websites, her page, Unforgiven, Renaissance Falcone, and Carne Asada, TikTok, IG. And also Sonia, she's been here before. Maybe you hit them up. They're I think they have both have an Eventbrite. So yeah, make sure you go check it out. So you can see Gabriella performing live here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, coming very, very soon. You good? You back? You took care of it?
Guys, I just want to say I do apologize if my eyes were wandering at any point. There was a spider crawling across my living room. Number one, I'm horrified, terrified of spiders. Like, I genuinely cannot do it. Number two, I learned that living in Texas, they are everywhere. I don't know why. Along with the black crickets that look like roaches. I don't know why, but for some reason, like, they're able to get into my apartment so easily. And these are new apartments. So I'm not really sure why, but I just found out that there's another spider that I had no idea, because there's wolf spiders that I see a lot.
Yeah.
I see the wolf spider a lot. I just killed one, a baby one. Sorry. I killed a wolf spider. There's black jumping spiders with white dots on them. And then there's this red spider with black legs. I can't handle it.
So you're good. You took care of it. You're good. As long as you're safe. As long as you're safe. Okay, we're running real close to the few last questions. So social media days off. So you Saturdays, Sundays, you take a break from social media. Is that posting it, or just social media in general? You don't just try to stay away from your phone?
Sunday, I just trying my best to not even go on it. I don't want to deal with it. That's mainly on Sundays. I'm either working or I'm cleaning. So that's just get off. Saturday and Sunday though, I don't post it off. Fridays, I'll post if I have stuff already made, but I'm not going to go out of my way to make content. Like, I'm not going to but like, I usually stock up on them. I do that so I don't burn myself out. Got you. Because I've met so many creators. You know, I go to TikTok events. I was just at a women who will TikTok event. And I met so many women and they had the same issues. Like, I get burnt out and it's hard to keep making content and I get it. So it's like, okay, Monday through Thursday, write that content. Like, just keep going, keep going. And then Friday, if you have something, post it. If not, okay, Saturday, Sunday, you don't have to post anything. Sunday, try on until you go on it. Give your mind a break. Like, you're not going to lose all your followers overnight. Like, just give yourself a break. So that's what
I think I'm gonna take that approach on you too, because I realize the weekends are weird and the traffic's not as high anyway. So I'm gonna take that approach.
Everyone's out as well. Like, you gotta realize that. Like, nobody's gonna be like, oh wow, Gabriella just posted a singing video. I'm at the club, let me listen to it. Like, no one's doing that. And so it's just really about taking care of yourself.
Awesome. And I've also seen something about Casa TikTok. What exactly is Casa TikTok? I don't know what it was.
Yes, Casa TikTok is for the Latin creators on TikTok. They reached out to me about a year ago, a little bit less than a year ago. And it's just all the Latin creators. They invite us to events. They gave me a gift for Christmas. It's just to make us feel more included, to let us know we're not alone. If we need anything, we reach out to the people. We have specific emails. I get emails like daily from them just about seminars that are going on, events that are going on, tricks for your TikToks. Like, so it's just a community based of Latin. There's creators. There's, I think, about 215 of us.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so it's not a lot of y'all. I mean, it is, but it's not compared to everybody that's on TikTok.
Yeah, no, it's not much because I don't want to say, I mean, I guess it's a little prestigious.
It is.
It really, everyone does something different. There's not many that are singers on there. Like, there are other singers, but then you have chefs. You have people that do arts and crafts. You have people that are into fitness, fashion. Like, everybody's different, but it's just a Latin community. So it's pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome. And one other question, best, because I know you take classes for your voice and everything, but mostly focus on the breathing. So what is the best advice you can give somebody young, an up-and-coming artist, as breathing techniques for performing or the exercise breathing to help you out?
Yeah, so in terms of like, just always warm up your voice. Even if you're about to sing just one song, like the national anthem, whatever it is, warm up your voice. You don't want to ruin your instrument. You only get one. It's not like we can go back out and buy a trumpet or buy another guitar. No. Like, this is your instrument, so take care of it. Drink lots of water. Polish it. Even if you're not singing every day, just polish it. Just take care of it. That's my best advice. Just take care of your voice.
And is there a particular breathing exercise that you do like to do to help you out for your performance?
Yes, so I have a specific, I have 3 that I always do, and it's the vocal fry, it's singing, but like, through your finger. It's just constricting your airways, getting them to your vocal folds to kind of flap more. And then I do the raspberry trills, but to a song. So like, that's I1, but it's do this because it's like generating everything. It's getting warmed up. I do a lot of vowels. I do the odd space breathing. I massage the bottom of my throat. Like, I go all over the place. I do about 20 to 25 minutes of that. And then at the end of every warm up, I'll always sing one song just to see where my voice is for the day.
And is that daily that you do this, or every so often?
What happened?
How often do you do those exercises?
Anytime I have to sing. Anytime. Like, it could be for TikToks, it could be for performance. I'm gonna warm up.
Oh, wow. Okay, Gabriella, so we're running short on time. Thank you very much for the time. Real quickly, before I let you go, all your social media, where can people find you at?
Yes, you guys can find me at Gabriella Martinez Oficial on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Also my YouTube as well. And then you can find all of my music with Gabriella, and it should pop up on all streaming platforms.
And how you looking on your journey to the Grammys? How's that journey looking like for 2023?
Well, I hope, I hope we can make it happen. But at the end of the day, whatever God wants to happen, he's going to make happen. So if it's not in his cards, it's not in his cards. I'm just going to keep making music.
Awesome. Any shout outs that you have for today?
Shout out to my family, my mom and my dad, my sister, my brother, and to my niece, Amira, who was just born. Shout out to my daughter and my dog, Roxanne. And just to all the fans that continue to listen to my music and support me, because I really would not be anywhere without y'all. So thank you.
Awesome. I had sent you something about questions. Did you have anything in mind that you wanted to share? Is there anything in particular you have in mind today that you wanted to share with us? It doesn't have to be music related. It doesn't have to be anything.
Say that one more time. I'm so sorry.
It doesn't have to be related to music. Just anything that in your heart and your mind that you wanted to share. What would that be?
Yes. Be kinder. The world just needs to have a little bit more compassion. We need to be kinder to everybody. Just to ourselves, to our neighbors, to anybody. I think what the world is missing right now is compassion and understanding. There's a lot of ignorance going around, and I think the more we try to understand one another and be kind, so many more problems will be solved. So I just had to say that, and I just want everyone to succeed. So I hope whatever your aspirations are, you succeed.
Awesome. I have one more question. So I usually wake up with a saying that it goes something like this: I'm not immortal, I am mortal, and I will die one day. Not to scare me, but to realize that we are not here forever. Our time is limited. With that, I wish you a long, prosperous life. However, at the end of your life, what do you want people to think about your life?
She didn't hold back.
She didn't hold back.
Yeah. Do not hold back. Whatever I did, I didn't hold back.
Awesome. That was beautiful. So with the drive that you had since you were smaller to finding something that you love, right? When you finally realize that your teacher introduced you to this music, and before you know it, you started developing a love for what it is, to taking chances, even though you have your bachelor's degree, to pursue a dream, right? With leaving everything in Tampa where you were born, to come to a state that, you didn't know anybody, and pursuing your dream. And then not to mention going into a genre of music, not only that particular genre, but at the time that you did the genre of music that you are doing, Tejano, being Colombian and Puerto Rican and Korean, and not even born in Texas, to be able to do that, I think is amazing. And with TikTok and every platform reaching all over the world, to me, I feel like that you, Gabriella, are definitely a global Latin factor. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you very much.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate the research that was done. First of all, you had great questions. I had a pleasure, being here and talking to you. So hopefully we could talk again, but best of luck for all of your future endeavors as well. And I really do appreciate you taking the time to talk to me tonight.
All right. Thank you very much. This was another episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast. Remember, we are just like you. We're the spice in this melting pot that it is the world. Till next time. Bye. Thank you very much for checking out another episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast. Make sure you go and subscribe to the channel. You are very important, and it means a lot to us whenever you go and subscribe and hit the bell so you can get notifications whenever we have new episodes. It really does truly mean a lot to us. Thank you very much.
Walks like a pedo, but in fact is a flamingo. Coming to Havana, Henry from Puerto Rico. On a pirate ship, he don't know where do we go. The birds of the jungle chasing fortune and fame, but Juan...